All right, today we're going to dive deep into a really controversial ancient text, one that has been quietly fueling rebellious ideas for centuries. We're going to trace the surprising and honestly super powerful influence of the Book of Enoch, a book that got kicked out of the Bible, but ended up having this wild second life in the worlds of magic and the occult. So let's just start with this quote. It sounds ancient, doesn't it? Like something you'd find on a dusty old scroll. But here's the thing, it's not. This is from a modern Luciferian magic book. And it's talking about the Nephilim, these hybrid children of angels and humans. This idea, this concept of incredibly powerful beings born from some kind of divine rebellion is a huge cornerstone for a lot of these modern groups. And that really brings us to the big question for this whole explainer. Where did this incredibly powerful myth actually come from? Is it something new, something that was just invented recently, or does it have roots that go way, way deeper? To get to the bottom of that, we're going to start with today, with the groups who are openly using these ancient-sounding figures in their practice. And this is where things get really interesting, because the whole philosophy gets flipped completely on its head. You see, in these modern paths, the fallen angels, or the Watchers, they aren't the bad guys. They're actually the heroes. They're the rebels who brought forbidden knowledge to humanity, things like enlightenment, wisdom, and personal power. So they're not seen as corrupting forces at all. They're liberators. So, okay, if these ideas are really ancient, how in the world do they survive to influence groups today? Well, the bridge connecting the ancient world to the modern one, it was really built during the Renaissance in a pretty unlikely place, the court of Queen Elizabeth I. And it all centered on creating a very specific and very famous system of magic. And you can literally trace the path right here on this timeline. It all kicks off in 1581 with John Dee, who was Queen Elizabeth's personal astrologer, and his associate Edward Kelly. They claimed that they were contacting angels and receiving a secret divine language that they called Enochian. Fast forward a few centuries, and that exact same system gets picked up and used by Aleister Crowley, probably the most famous occultist of the 20th century. And from Crowley, it trickles down and finds its way into Anton LaVey's work when he founded the Church of Satan. It's a direct line. So how did they say they got all this information? Well, it was through a practice called scrying. Basically, after getting the ritual space all set up, Kelly would stare into a crystal or a black mirror, trying to enter a trance-like state. And he claimed that from there, he'd see visions of angels who would dictate this entire incredibly complex system to him. I mean, complete with its own alphabet, its own grammar, the whole shebang. And this is the absolute key, the name they gave this whole system. They called it Enochian magic. And they didn't just pull that name out of thin air. They claimed the angels told them that this was the original